All right, good morning, peoples. Let's jump in here to Misty and MSTR. So, what happened on Monday? Well, initially, Bitcoin opened up, 70,000 ran. We were way by our weekly. And then during the day, it all came back down. Um, so that benefited us on the weekly quite a bit. We had closed the previous day at 1752.71, and we're now at 1684.85. So we were down 3.87. Well, that's an MSTR. How'd Misty do? Well, Misty went down less than 1%. So when you're not capped and you're going the other way, that was a nice gain. And they had 300,000 in shares and went from 14,575,000 to 14,875,000. So a buy-in of 300,000, and I think they had lost 250 or 300 the session before, which is pretty rare for Misty in general. To have a decreased share count. So it went right back up, I think 25,000 more. So I think it was down 275. Yeah, look at that. It was down 275 right there. You can see the number, and then back up 300,000. So we're 25,000 ahead of where we were last Thursday. All right, so you can see a little bit of money flow into it. All right, so with this, let me show you on the trades what it looks like. I have some Misty and some Ulti showing on there. Hang on. All right. So on the Misty, whenever you see three of the same number like this, and it's a buy, call, sell short, a put, you see the 1550. Well, 1550 is our current synthetic here, expiring on 8/16, right, of 24. I mean, it's weird how they where they do the numbers. And then you see a sell short on the 1800 strike price, which is your sell short your weekly, and they collected 32.8. Since we're already over 1550 and we're trading at 1684, it costs a lot more to buy that call because that call is in the money, $134, almost 135 of the 205 is profit. That's why the put is only $60, right? All right. So let's go look at the synthetic. That's the call that collected us 410,000. But on the here we lost money, right? We sold this, we bought the calls for 205. It's only 125 contracts, but 205, and then we sold the put for 60. So the difference between those is about 1.8. So we went from a 7 million loss to an 8.8, right? So we lost 1.8, but we only gained 410,000 on the call. But this has a $37 million profit, and they may roll that for declaration to have some before declaration to have some more cash. They could roll it this Friday. Well, yeah, they'd have to roll it this Friday on 8/2. So that'll be interesting. I have a feeling they'll do that later this week. They'll roll that synthetic so they have enough cash to pay us out because we're not showing that much gain now. And maybe if they run this back up, remember they can go to 1775 on our weekly. So let me show you the weekly. So we added this 125 contracts at 1800. That's 6.83 for this week with 4 trading days. This guy, when we opened up, I don't have the daily chart in front of me, but we opened up and ran. It was looking like we were going to get slammed on our weekly, but also we were going to make it up in the synthetic, and it turned and came back down not too long after the open. So you have those kind of days, right? It was that FOMO, that momentum from Trump, and the Bitcoin conference, Michael Saylor, everybody all together, and then they're like, "No, we're not accepting that." Um, so these are down, not up. Misty actually, when I said they only went down less than 1%, and MSTR was over 3% down. All right, so let's take a look at our holdings because they tell us more. All right, so when we look at the synthetic, we have um, we've captured 60.59% of this, right? Because this being a 1775, we're at 1684. So 16 and 75, we're $91. Or if you want to look at it in percentage, we're 5.35 away from that, out of the money, okay? We don't want to get there. We want to get right to 1775, but we don't want to go any higher because if we want a couple dollars payout, um, and what that does, well, I don't want to do this yet. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go into detail on that, just like I need to here. So here's the hedge. Here's our synthetic showcasing 37. Remember, this was 52 prior. So by dropping down, you see it right here, right? We were as high as 52. Now we're 37 and a half. It's still a gain. We've been positive for the last 4 days. It's just we were really positive on Friday, and then we opened up, and that thing would have been 100 grand or something. But we would have had a big buyback, right? If the week had been ending and that had held. So this 24 million collected probably would have been 45 here to buy back. Right now, we can buy everything back for 9 because this is the brand new one, right? We put this on today, and they're actually showing it ending exactly what we paid for it. So one of two things is coincidental, or they simply put it on near the very end of the day, and the price held. There weren't any other trades. Okay, so this is the 300 share count that were bought into, and on I mentioned on Friday we sold 275,000, and now 300,000 were added. So that's the yin and yang of the share count too. New people are going, I want it. Old people are going, I'm taking profits. And that's what makes a market, right? This is close enough. I double checked the math. Everything is there. This is the right share count. This is the NAV price, adding all the assets together. Um, so that's what I got for you there. Let's take a look now at holdings, and I can detail it. Okay. So the synthetics at 37, look at this. We have a 41-cent loss, right? Altogether. We have a 75-cent loss on our net income. I'm sorry, on our short call. And we got this added 400,000 in here. So see, before we were on the July tab. Oh, yeah, that's a positive number. So we want it to shrink, right? We want negative numbers in the payouts. So we did shrink that down to 11.1 from 11.5. This is the guy that got bumped up, which I showed you because we had to pay more for the put than, sorry, we had to pay more to buy the call than sell the put. Share count is up. So the end result is, in order to keep this, we've captured 60% of our weekly, right? We could buy back for 9 million the 24 million we collected. Now this, I would never tell a fund manager on Monday of the week to take that off. I might on a Tuesday if this thing was at 80% and say, just pull it off and now write one, out further into the next week, or even write one for 3 days. I'm okay with that because you grab something, right? Because what happens is this synthetic can lose its money at any point in time, even though we have a 37 million gain. So if we go the other way, we drop way down. Yeah, we won our weekly. We're already winning our weekly. We just don't want to go past 1775. We're at 1684. So that's why I said by the end of this week, I guarantee you they'll take this synthetic and they'll roll it into like a 920 or something from the 816, or they may even go into October. But knowing how volatile this is with the split, they'll probably just choose 920, the third Friday of September. Because September promises, I can tell you, is going to tell us a lot about the stock market we're living in for the next 3 to 6 months. When the institutional money comes back and starts to play, we're going to see what the big boys really think about the market. They're going to send it up higher, right, and a further melt up, or they're going to sell it off. So we shall see. All right, so with that 37 million, what does that equate to? Well, unfortunately, um, the 37 number is what I'm using here because that's what they could sell it at right now. And that says it's $2.49 because this already counts us winning the weekly. So we don't want to lose the weeklies, but we do. See, we can go up another $86 or something to get to 1775, and that's going to add money here while allowing us to capture all of this. So we just need to kind of thread the needle, and we'll be another $2 payout month. But if things go wrong, again, I said that before and it didn't happen, we might get our first, dollar something payout. But I feel reasonably comfortable. Let me see what Bitcoin is doing. Let me get a live price here. I don't have my Schwab Thinkorswim up, but I can do it for you guys. Oh yeah, it looks like it's not quite as high, but hang on. I have to get it in dollars. 66.5, and it had been, yeah, it's been all in the 66s. This is after it pulled back, right? So if I do a 5-day, we can see where did we get up to? Yeah, we're no worse than we were around the close. So we're hanging in there. Okay, people, that's what I got for you. Um, Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Check out my Sylvia Jablonski, the CEO, CIO of Defiance, for those of you that like those funds, own those funds. And then I also did a video on the declaration. And don't forget, you have two things there on Defiance. You have the declaration, the pay date, right? Ex dividend. If you don't buy today on 7:30, you don't get any of the dividends for their high yield, right? Their QQY, IWMY. I don't remember all the symbols, but basically their S&P, their QQQ, and their Russell 2000 high yield, and then two more for the S&P and the Qs on the targeted, where they're just given like a 20-ish, but not much NAV reduction. For those of you that don't like the NAV reduction on the high yield, and hence the 3-for-1 split, it splits on August 1st, and the payday is August 2nd. Okay, guys, bye for now.